Well, hello again, Roll YouTube. My name is Pat, and this is my second posting of my review of the movie 7 Pounds. I had one before. I thought it was pretty good, but the problem is that YouTube quick capture is really screwy, and my 10-minute video turned into a 1-minute video. So I'm reposting it, and I haven't even seen the movie for about damn near a month, but cut straight to the chase. This is an awful movie, and you really should avoid it. And you know, I think this is one of those movies that people with lesser intelligence might watch and be like, oh, it wasn't so bad. But then people with any intelligence at all are going to look at it and just be slamming a hammer over their head to dull the pain of watching this thing. And it really is an awful movie. And I'm trying to edge around like what I should give away and what I shouldn't give away. But who knows what you know at this point. But it's one of those movies that tries to be obscure though, and like previews and stuff, not really tell you anything about it, and like there's some kind of mystery going on. It's supposed to have a twist ending. It's not. It's very obvious. It's very transparent. The whole movie is by the numbers, and it's ridiculous. And it's kind of insulting to your intelligence, like time and time again throughout the whole movie is a big problem I have with it. Like for example, like the second most beautiful girl in all of Hollywood, is this poor girl who can't like afford anything, and she doesn't have friends, and she's living by herself, and nobody loves her, but she's really sweet and a really kind person, right? Like it's ridiculous. It's absolutely freaking ridiculous, and just stupid shit like that just ruins the movie, like progressively. And well, there's not much to ruin, but it does ruin the movie. And I'm getting really sick and tired of watching every single movie and having there needs to be a word for this, like the hottie scene, the hottie establishment scene, where the protagonist runs into this gorgeous girl who's clearly made up to be more beautiful than any other woman in the movie. And it's like that's exactly what happens in this movie. It's like, okay, she's the love interest, bing 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 bing, love interest, and they smack you over the head with it like over and over and over again just to make sure that you catch on to it. And everything in that movie is just so heavy-handed. There's no subtleties. Everything's direct. um, they tell you where the movie's going in the very opening scene, and I don't understand why they're calling it a twist ending though. um, and like just throughout the whole movie there wasn't a single damn thing in it that I didn't predict, and it was just very transparent, and there was nothing good about it at all. And to appreciate the movie on any level, you'd have to have absolutely no knowledge of medical science or zoology, because like the things though is just layer upon layer of suspension of disbelief, and it like ignores modern science and all that stuff, and it's just a lot of stuff that just doesn't make sense, and it's and legally too. Legally speaking, though, at the end of the movie, and if you've already seen it, which I don't know why, but most people who've already seen the movie like to see reviews on the movie they just watched. But the ending there, yeah, what he was trying to do, legally speaking, that wouldn't fly. That wouldn't fly for a second, okay? Because the doctors would look at his friend and be like, no, no, we're gonna arrest you on the spot, and we're gonna go ahead and give this to people by the procedure that we have. There, I'm trying to tiptoe around the ending, but anyways, also on top of that, what he was giving away, he wouldn't be able to do because of the method of which he got it. Do you understand what I'm trying to say there too? Um, the way that he made it so that he could give those things away would destroy those things in the process. Do you understand? Like, if I can be any more clear about that. So that it just doesn't make any sense. And then also like, oh, it was so abundantly like transparent though. I mean, it was a 5-year-old could see through the script. It really was that bad, and it was awful. It was awful, and the movie just is completely derailed. Like 75% of the movie is this love story that doesn't even happen. And considering what Will Smith's character does in the end of the movie, like you gotta admit, it's pretty damn selfish of him to even like go into a relationship with that girl to begin with. And it's kind of creepy too, though, that he's basically stalking this girl. That's what he's doing. He's sniffing around her house and like going through her things, and then he sleeps with her and breaks down and starts crying. He's like, "I want to marry you." Like, no, you know what? That's really creepy and pathetic. That's exactly what that is, and it wouldn't fly. And it just didn't. A lot of it just didn't make sense though on so many levels. And like a lot of the stuff that he was doing was for his wife and all that stuff, but yet at the same time he's sleeping around with this chick, and that doesn't make any sense. So if he's doing this because of his wife, it doesn't make any sense, because then why would he turn around and sleep with this girl? But the movie as a whole doesn't make sense. It's horrible. It's pointless. Please avoid it. There's so much other good stuff out there right now. I'm looking really forward towards Clint Eastwood's new movie because I'm a huge vigilante like a buff, and I'm gonna see that tomorrow and hope that it's good. And you know, Clint Eastwood doesn't make bad movies, and but all the same, there's so many better movies out there to see, and that this is something that you can just avoid, and you wouldn't miss one thing about it. So that's basically my point. If you want an arbitrary number, I'm going to give this a 3 out of 10. It really is that bad. It's a horrible, horrible movie, and it's obvious. Its conventions are stolen. It steals ideas from other movies too. Like there's a scene where he's on the phone with a girl and she's like, "Tell me a story." I'm like, "Well, I remember that in another movie." And it's like, "Okay, well, I'll stay on the phone until you fall asleep." And like that's from another movie, you know. And it's just like, it's horrible, horrible. Oh, and there's another scene where his brother finds him. He's like, "You need to find like come around this house and like don't make me come in there and get you or whatever." And then they just ignore that he even said that or whatever because like the movie continues on without it, and he stays in his house. But if you haven't seen the movie, you don't know what I'm talking about. If you do, if you did, you probably do know what I'm talking about. And the movie has got more holes in it than Swiss cheese, so I wouldn't recommend seeing it. And that's basically what I have to say about it. I'm sure there's a lot of people out there who's like, "Oh, it's the greatest movie of all time out there." And you know what? Bring on the flames. I don't care. If you thought that movie was any good, you really got to reevaluate your taste in movies. Thanks for watching, and please leave your comments.